Hello, you're all very welcome here to Hollymount for live coverage of the Lidl National League Ladies Football Championship Round 1 between Wexford and Kildare. It's a very windy day here in Hollymount and both sides are warming up. At the moment we've had the toss there in the middle with the referee Paddy Smith, and as I said, it's very windy here. It was very rainy in County Wexford last night and for a lot of the morning, but thankfully the rain has gone away and the conditions underfoot are very, very good, and credit to all of the people involved in the Shelmaliers GAA club here in County Wexford for providing the pitch in such excellent condition considering the rain that we've had. And just to give you some team news then, first of all we have the Wexford team, and there's one late change from the 1 to 15, so you can see the Wexford 15 on the screen there. There's one change, but number 1 Deirdre Fox, 2 Ciara Neville, 3 Aisling Halligan, 4 Amy Walsh, 5 Orla Keogh, 6 Niamh Cloak Rochford, 7 Anne Byrne, 8 Roisin Murphy, 9 Ciara Banville is replaced by number 20 Laura Bruin. The half forward line then is Shireen Hamilton, Katrina Murray and Ellen O'Brien, and the full forward line is Emma Tompkins, Aisling Murphy and Aoife Cullen. And for Kildare then, they are going with the 15 that was named in the programme. So just to read those out, number 1 Dervla McGinn, Claire Nugent, Leisha Lenihan, Fiona Trout, Maya Doherty, Lara Gilbert, Claire Sullivan, Aoife Rattigan and Grace Clifford make up the midfield partnership. Roisin Ford, Lara Curran and Hazel McLaughlin, and the full forward line is Nessa Dooley, Orla Sullivan and Sarah Munley. So they're the two 15s that are going to start the game here. As I said, both sides are just going through their warm-ups. They'll be hoping for a good start to the Lidl National Ladies Football League this year. The other two teams in this particular side of Division 3 are Wicklow and Longford, and they'll play each other at 3 o'clock in Rathnew today. So all 4 sides in the group here will be hoping to get off to a good start this weekend. And conditions, of course, will play a big factor in today's game. As you're looking at it on screen, Wexford are practicing kicking into the lower goal on the left-hand side here, and it should be easier to score into that end here today in Hollymount, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to score into the road end here in Hollymount. The breeze is going to make it far more difficult for the team playing into that end to score. It's not a breeze that's directly into anyone's face except mine. It's straight across the field here. But slightly favouring the team that's playing from right to left. And just to quickly run down through the 15s again for anyone that's only just joined us. The Wexford starting 15 has one change. Laura Bruin takes the place of Ciara Banville. So the 15 who will start for Wexford are Deirdre Fox, Ciara Neville, Aisling Halligan and Amy Walsh, Orla Keogh, Niamh Cloak Rochford and Anne Byrne, Roisin Murphy and Laura Bruin, Shireen Hamilton, Katrina Murray and Ellen O'Brien, Emma Tompkins, Aisling Murphy and Aoife Cullen. The Kildare 1 to 15 are as named in the programme. Dervla McGinn, Claire Nugent, Leisha Lenihan, Fiona Trout, Maya Doherty, Lara Gilbert, Claire Sullivan, Aoife Rattigan and Grace Clifford, Roisin Ford, Lara Curran and Hazel McLaughlin, and Nessa Dooley, Orla Sullivan and Sarah Munley make up the full forward line. So both sides in the now familiar huddle with the management's a last opportunity for the leaders of the side and the managers of the side to give some instructions to the starting players. Just to mention the officials today, as I said, the referee is Paddy Smith. and the Lions men are Mag Doherty and Barry Redmond. So we wish all the officials and the umpires the very best of luck, as well as they'll no doubt also be hoping to have a good start to the Lidl National Football League here in Hollymount. There's a decent crowd, particularly along the side that the camera is on. Plenty of supporters here along the railing here, and ready to cheer on both sides. There's cars still coming in as well, so it's good to see plenty of people here to support the sides on what is a fairly blustery day in February here. And we see an early positional change just as the Kildare team have lined out into their positions. We see an early change, or positional switch. Claire Sullivan and Hazel McLaughlin seem to have swapped positions, so it looks as though Hazel McLaughlin is going to play in the right wing back position and Claire Sullivan is going to play in the left wing forward position. So the Wexford team are just getting a photograph here, and they'll be almost ready to go as well. I'll try to give you any indication of whether they'll play in their selected positions as well. Kildare will play from left to right into the little bit of a breeze. It's more of a crosswind, but it's slightly going to favour Wexford in this first half. So I can't spot any positional change on the Wexford side just yet. They seem to be lining out as was selected, except for that one change, Laura Bruin in place of Ciara Banville. So the ball is up, the game is on. Earliest to win possession there for Kildare's Grace Clifford, and her midfield partner Aoife Rattigan has it now to head up straight away. An early ball in towards the full forward line, won well by Nessa Dooley. Clever ball inside towards Orla Sullivan, who has it up back to Dooley again, but spilled. Aisling Halligan is there to win it for Wexford and to try carry it away, and Halligan is fouled, a free to Wexford, and a solid start at the back there for the Wexford fullback Aisling Halligan. Amy Walsh to take this one. Sent long, but it's won back by Kildare now, and Roisin Ford finds its way here to Grace Clifford in the middle of the field. She's a very influential player, and the captain of this Kildare side today. Across to Hazel McLaughlin, sends it across as far as Mia Doherty. It's been chased down by Shireen Hamilton. Chance of a score here maybe now for Lara Curran, but it's recycled, and Kildare still keep possession here. Wexford have plenty of bodies back at the moment, but it looks as though Sarah Munley is trying to make some inroads off as far as Orla Sullivan. Sullivan trying to get away, and she was fairly obviously fouled there, and a free to Kildare, and the first real scoring opportunity of the game following that foul there on Orla Sullivan. And Lara Curran is the one who's trotted over to take the free. 20 metres out from goal, just a little bit off to the far side of the field, just outside the edge of the D. And no mistake there from Lara Curran. So a good confident start on the frees there for the Kildare free taker, number 11, Lara Curran. And that's Kildare into a 1 point lead here after a minute and a half of play in Hollymount. That kick out has gone astray and won back by Kildare. Sent across here as far as Roisin Ford, who finds herself in a little bit of space. The hand pass inside as far as Hazel McLaughlin. Off again to Lara Curran, who got that point, and it's a shot a good save there, a very good save by Deirdre Fox in the Wexford goal, playing in her home ground today, and it's Aisling Halligan who comes clear with it now, off to Amy Walsh, who is sent it up the line here, but that ball is just carried a little bit on the breeze and over the sideline. Emma Tompkins just couldn't get to it, and Kildare have a line ball. Taken quickly by Hazel McLaughlin across into the middle. And there's another foul there, a heavy tackle by Aisling Murphy, and Kildare have the free for the foul on Claire Sullivan. Bright start by the Lily Whites here in the opening couple of minutes, and they look quite threatening going forward. Aoife Rattigan with it now, sends it over towards the far side where Maya Doherty has it. Tackled there by Shireen Hamilton. Kildare views the ball well, but not on that occasion. Aisling Murphy has it back for Wexford, and the early ball in towards the full forward line is gathered up by Aoife Cullen. A chance for Wexford maybe to get a score back. Still Cullen with it, good work. Being tackled there by Claire Nugent, but it's still Cullen with it. An advantage is being played to Wexford. Back as far as Laura Brown. Kick pass across, and maybe Wexford would have preferred the free in that situation. Ellen O'Brien goes all the way back as far as Orla Keogh. Laura Brown with it now, trying to take on the Kildare defence, and an advantage being played to Wexford again, and this time the free is coming, and a chance now for Wexford to get that point back. A promising looking attack there. Good work by Aisling Murphy and Laura Brown involved as well, and a chance now for Katrina Murray to take the free. Similar position as the Kildare free at the other end of the field, just out the far side of the middle, about 20 metres out from goal. And no mistake from Katrina Murray. So that's the opening score of the game for her and for Wexford, as we now have a level game here after 4 minutes in Hollymount. Kildare get the game going quickly again. Good ball inside. Back to Grace Clifford again. A great sidestep to get around Niamh Cloak Rochford that time. It's still Clifford with it now. 45 metres out. A quick ball into the full forward line. Won by Nessa Dooley. A quick turn to shot. She won't be very pleased with that shot, but it's still there to be won, and just carries a little bit too far and over the end line for the first wide of the game. Deirdre Fox with the kick out finds Anne Byrne. Up to Orla Keogh. Good run off the shoulder by Roisin Murphy, and it's here with Laura Brown. Off as far as Aisling Murphy. Good run here. The hand pass has gone a little bit astray, and the referee was playing an advantage to Wexford, and a chance again from a similar position to put Wexford into the lead here. No doubt Katrina Murray will take it, but that was some good work by the Wexford players. It was built from deep. The kick out went short as far as Anne Byrne, and from there Wexford worked it very neatly up the field and created his scoring opportunity. And Murray has decided to put this one on the ground. She took the previous one from her hands. And the ball is dangerously in towards the edge of the square, but it's dealt with well by the Kildare defence. It finds its way out as far as Hazel McLaughlin. Up towards Grace Clifford here. Gathered up well, tackled by Orla Keogh, and foul, the free to Kildare. Sent backwards to Hazel McLaughlin again. Clifford into the middle as far as Aoife Rattigan. McLaughlin over as far as Doherty. Kildare working this one well. Claire Sullivan now has a little bit of space in front of her to carry it forward. Good pace being shown by Sullivan. And Byrne is there trying to put the pressure on, but the ball is forward towards Nessa Dooley. Well defended by Amy Walsh, but it's won here by Roisin Ford. Well tackled by Orla Keogh to deflect it over the sideline, and the linesman Francis Neville's flag is up, and Kildare have the line ball. Good interplay here between Orla Sullivan and Lara Curran. Sullivan was bottled up, has to go back to Curran. Hazel McLaughlin again. She's seen plenty of the ball in the opening few minutes here. Rattigan sends it into her midfield partner Grace Clifford, and Clifford is trying to take on Aisling Murphy here. Had Mia Doherty at the far side for support. Good runner off the shoulder by Sarah Munley there, and the ball low is in towards Nessa Dooley inside in the full forward line. Back to Munley again. Kick pass is trying to find the number 10 Roisin Ford, but it was well defended by Anne Byrne, who clears it away here as far as Ellen O'Brien. Back to Orla Keogh. Off to Roisin Murphy. Wexford dealt with that one well. Kildare have had plenty of the ball, but they might be a little bit disappointed that they've only managed to get 1 point so far, as the ball is in here towards the Wexford half forward line, and Katrina Murray is trying to make something happen, but strong in defence there was Leisha Lenihan for Kildare. Back as far as Hazel McLaughlin. Claire Sullivan now sends it over towards Mia Doherty at the far side, or it's not, it's Fiona Trout in fact, and Aoife Rattigan carrying it forward now. Back inside to Trout again. Tackled by Emma Tompkins, but gets away. The referee was playing an advantage, but the advantage is now over. The ball low in towards the full forward line, was trying to find Nessa Dooley, but getting her foot to that one was Amy Walsh. An important interception. Walsh into the middle to Aisling Halligan, and the goalkeeper Deirdre Fox has come out to support her defence. Orla Keogh now. Forward to Emma Tompkins. The kick pass is sent in long and high, and again well dealt with by Lara Gilbert, the centre back for Kildare. That was good defending. This kick pass has gone very much astray, and a line ball for Wexford. Almost 9 minutes gone here, and it's been a low scoring affair so far. A point apiece here in Hollymount, but conditions are making it a little bit difficult to be accurate on the scores, as Ellen O'Brien sends the line ball in towards Aisling Murphy. Good sidestep by Murphy. Cuts back inside a bit of space, but that's a very loose hand pass. Murphy wins it back again, and thought the ball was maybe on the ground to be won, but the referee is giving a free to Kildare. Grace Clifford here off to Roisin Ford into the middle as far as Claire Sullivan. Back to Ford again. Manages to brush aside that tackle, and the thing has opened up a little bit here. The ball in towards Nessa Dooley again, well defended by Amy Walsh, who has been very steady in the opening few minutes, the opening 10 minutes here, as Orla Keogh is onto it now. Laura Brown inside to Amy Walsh. Ball down the line. Emma Tompkins is there to try and win it. It was well defended by Fiona Trout, and Trout has it up, but she's dispossessed, and there's a great battle going on here in this area of the field, and it's Wexford this time who get maybe the benefit of the decision, as Aoife Cullen wins a free, and it's taken quickly but very loosely, and Kildare have it back again. Aoife Rattigan carries it forward. Wexford have a spare defender back at the moment, and Rattigan is there, but the spare defender is Anne Byrne to try and slow her up, and the ball is on the ground. Off as far as Sarah Munley inside to Grace Clifford. This is good work from Kildare. There's a great chance of a goal here if Clifford can get the pass off to Nessa Dooley. A great chance of a goal, and it is a goal for Kildare. A brilliant team score that time. It was won all the way back here in defence and worked well up the field, and it found Dooley then, who managed to fire home the shot, and as we can see here, Grace Clifford took on the Wexford defence, laid it off in as far as Nessa Dooley, who just about managed to get it away from the efforts of Deirdre Fox, and a great boost for the Kildare side. Ball here in the middle with Claire Sullivan, and she's fouled, and there's a bit of a high tackle. I don't think it was overly malicious, but the referee is going to speak to Aisling Murphy here. And it's a tick. I think a sensible decision there to tick rather than to yellow card. But goals are a big boost for any side on a day where scores are going to be difficult to come by considering the conditions. So that goal from Nessa Dooley can really set Kildare on their way. So the injured player, Claire Sullivan, is up and ready to go again. Hazel McLaughlin off to Grace Clifford, who was instrumental. Off to McLaughlin again. Kildare moving well and moving the ball well. That was just out of the reach of Roisin Ford. Back to Hazel McLaughlin, laid off to Grace Clifford. Still Clifford with it. Lays it off into the middle. Gathered up by Orla Sullivan. Sullivan with the pass in towards Maya Doherty, and a chance for Kildare, and the shot has gone high and over the bar, and another well worked score by the Lily Whites here, and they've gone into a 4-point lead in a flash here after 12 and a half minutes. Deirdre Fox kick out, tries to pick out Aisling Murphy, but it's Kildare who have it back again. Grace Clifford is over it. Laid off by Leisha Lenihan, who's received the pass again and continued to run. Carrying forward now by Roisin Ford. Inside, a great block down by Aisling Halligan there from the boot of Orla Sullivan, and it's still not cleared from a Wexford point of view, as Kildare have certainly the lion's share of possession in this opening quarter of the game. Sent across here by Hazel McLaughlin over towards Grace Clifford. Wexford just can't seem to get their hands on the ball for long periods of the game. They might be able to get their hands on it now unless Hazel McLaughlin can keep that one in, and she just can't, and a Wexford line ball. Taken by Orla Keogh, sent into Ellen O'Brien. Roisin Murphy now has her head up, looking for options. Forward to her midfield partner, Laura Brown, who's been tackled there by Grace Clifford, and there was a foul. There was maybe an arm held a little bit as Ciara Neville was trying to make something happen for Wexford at the far side. That's a very loose pass, and Kildare have it back again. Roisin Ford, and they're turning the fence into attack very quickly here. Orla Sullivan with time to look up and find the goal scorer, Nessa Dooley, inside. She looks very lively in there as the shot has been sent in, and it's been sent in and over the bar, and a very fine score for Kildare, and that's 1-3 now in total, and I think the one to finish it was Aoife Rattigan. And we have a water break. The GAA have removed the water breaks as soon as possible, but the ladies football, and I think the Camogie as well, but certainly the ladies football have decided to keep the water breaks for now. They're certainly a hot topic of conversation in many circles, as some people seem to think they're a great thing, and others, I think the majority, seem to think they should be got rid of as soon as possible. But we've seen an end-to-end sort of a game in some respects, but Wexford have had a couple of chances. They managed to score one. Kildare certainly have had more possession. 1-3 they've managed to score. And that last point there, as we can see, a fine score, and that has set Kildare into a 5-point lead at the first water break here, and maybe an opportunity for the Wexford management to get to grips with some of the Kildare play, as again we can see that fantastic goal by Nessa Dooley there. There was a good finish, but it was a great team score, the way the build up was worked, and Grace Clifford was central to that, and she seems to have been central to an awful lot of things that Kildare are doing well so far in the opening quarter of the game. So we're almost ready to restart. Deirdre Fox with the kick out, playing in her home ground here, but it's won back by Kildare in towards Dooley, but the pass is a little bit strong, and the wind seems to be getting a little bit stronger here as well, as we could see that kick out just didn't have the distance that Deirdre Fox had maybe planned for. There was a very strong gust of wind that time, but this kick out goes short and won by Roisin Murphy. The pass forward again is just carried on the breeze, and Kildare are managing conditions a little bit better than Wexford at the moment, as Nessa Dooley sends that one in and over the bar, and that's 1-1 for her now in this first half. And Amy Walsh has done quite well and has probably won more of the ball that has gone in there, but Dooley has managed to get on the end of a couple of good moves from Kildare, and 1-4 to a point now as Deirdre Fox has another kick out, and that one comes off the boot of Roisin Ford and out for a Wexford line ball. Sent forward here as far as Orla Keogh. Tries to take on Claire Sullivan. Good work by Keogh, and she's fouled there, and chance for Wexford to create a scoring opportunity. Katrina Murray with her hands on the ball, who's got Wexford's sole score of the game. She looks as though she was trying to line up for a score. It's going to land in around the danger zone. Well dealt with by Dervla McGinn in the Kildare goal. The hand pass out has gone loose, however, and Wexford have it back. Katrina Murray trying to take on the whole Kildare defence, but the ball is overturned, and back with Kildare again as Aoife Rattigan comes across to clear this one up. Grace Clifford now. Clifford at the far side loses it there and is out. The line ball is for Wexford. Ellen O'Brien. Good ball into the middle, laid off. This is a good run here by Roisin Murphy and a good move by Wexford. Off as far as Ellen O'Brien again. Can Wexford get a score to bring themselves back into the game? The kick by Anne Byrne has been blocked down. A good block down there, and the free out has come for Kildare. That was another opportunity for Wexford, but this Kildare defence has been very impressive so far. They've been very good, particularly under the high ball, and dealt with that one as well. Fiona Trout carries this one clear now. Has Mia Doherty there in support, but Trout still with the ball. Back to Aoife Rattigan. Long kick pass in towards the full forward line. A good battle has been going on there between Orla Sullivan and Aisling Halligan, and this time it's Wexford who have the free out. Halligan to take it, but it's almost won back by Kildare there, getting her hands to it with Sarah Munley, but she couldn't just quite keep it in her grasp as Wexford maybe got away with it a little bit that time. Roisin Murphy off to Aisling Halligan again, who's trying to take on a couple of the Kildare players, and she's fouled. A free now to Wexford from just around the 65 metre line. Helen O'Brien being tackled by Grace Clifford, and a foul. Free to Wexford. Long kick pass from Anne Byrne is aimed in towards the full forward line, but it's well read by Claire Sullivan, who carries it clear for Kildare. Off as far as Claire Nugent. Well tackled by Katrina Murray. It turns it over and Wexford have it back again. Into the middle here to Shireen Hamilton. Off as far as Laura Bruin. A kick pass is again well read by the half-back line and the centre-back for Kildare, Lara Gilbert, who came across and spotted the danger there really quickly, and Kildare seems to be at their ease in dealing with balls like that. Fiona Trout now with it. Has Hazel McLaughlin further over for support. And the referee is giving a free to Kildare. Back to Aoife Rattigan, a 1-2 between Rattigan and McLaughlin, and another free to Kildare. We've had a lot of frees so far in the opening 19 minutes of the game here. This one sent back as far as Dervla McGinn in the Kildare goal. Lara Gilbert. Maya Doherty off to Lara Gilbert again. The ball sent low up the line here as far as Sarah Munley, who's come way out the field to try and get her hands on it. An advantage being played to Kildare. The referee is happy to let the game continue, but the stumble there for Lara Gilbert means that the referee has brought the ball back, and that one was taken from the wrong place, so it'll have to be brought back to the 65 and a chance for Wexford to set up the defence. One here by Leisha Lenihan in the middle. She has the number 3 in her back, but hasn't been afraid to get forward in this first half. The pass forward, well defended by Orla Keogh, and it looks as though she's going to be able to keep it from going out of play, as well as a chance for Wexford to build from the middle. Ellen O'Brien now trying to take on Aoife Rattigan, but very well won by Rattigan. We had that right under us here in the commentary box here as Grace Clifford sends it off to Roisin Ford. Off again to Orla Sullivan, and maybe Kildare can add another score on the board. Aoife Rattigan with it decides to chip it in towards Nessa Dooley this time, who's out in front, and the shot from Orla Sullivan is going to stay out, I think, to the left and wide, and that's a second wide of the game for Kildare, but a promising looking move again. And a mistake in the Wexford defence means this is an opportunity for a goal, but the shot has been sent in by Sarah Munley, and I think she tried to lob the keeper Deirdre Fox, but it just skewed off her boot and way off to the right and wide. So a let off there for Wexford. Again, it's Kildare who seems to be more eager to win that one, and it was picked off the ground while she wasn't on her feet, and that means a free out for Wexford, and a very a big let off that time, because Kildare were really in for a goal. Aisling Halligan, kick is sent high and long. Good strength being shown by Aisling Murphy to get that one, being chased by Leisha Lenihan, and Lenihan does really well, wins it back. She made a great effort to get back that time, and Grace Clifford now off as far as Claire Sullivan. Sullivan is slowed up in her tracks by Anne Byrne, who dispossessed her and did really well, and the referee is going to throw it up, I think. So up there between the two number 8s, Murphy and Rattigan, and the free has been given to Kildare. Grace Clifford to take it, goes way back as far as Fiona Trout. Tries to take on Laura Brown, off as far as Mia Doherty. Good move again. Doherty has continued her run. Orla Sullivan with it now. Lara Curran, she's got a point already. Can she add a second? Good straight side step. Good chance here for Kildare. And Lara Curran sends that one over the bar, and that was a great side step which created a bit of space that Curran needed to send that one over the bar. So Kildare 1-5 now. Wexford 1 point. So it's proven to be quite difficult first half for Wexford so far, as this could be getting a bit more difficult here. Nessa Dooley manages to block down the clearance, but sends it off to the left or to the right and wide, and another let off for Wexford. It's really difficult to get to move the ball out of defence with the wind playing havoc with kick-outs and things like that, but Kildare are certainly putting plenty of pressure on. Really well won there in the middle of the field by Shireen Hamilton, off now as far as Aisling Halligan. Ellen O'Brien now. She's looking for options, but the Kildare defence have been very tight so far in this game, and it's been difficult for the Wexford players out around the middle to pick free players inside in the full forward line, as there's an advantage being played now off as far as Ellen O'Brien. It's spilled, and the referee I think is going to bring it back for the Wexford free just inside the 45 metre line, and a chance for Wexford to set up a score. It's going to be a difficult one to score from that distance. There seems to be a sub coming in for Wexford, and Laura Brown is the one who's making way. So number 20 Laura Brown is out, and I'll just try and pick out who's in. But we'll stick with the action for now. Sent across here. Shireen Hamilton has it. Back inside as far as Emma Tompkins, off the shoulder. Orla Keogh. Good work by Keogh. The shot is taken. It's sent high. It's close, but it's just gone off to the right and wide. And think possibly Wexford's first wide of the game, as it was Amy Wilson who was brought in for Laura Bruin. As Kildare have it, Fiona Trout is high tackle there, but the referee waves play on. Lara Gilbert now carries it forward for Kildare. Low ball in towards Nessa Dooley here. Kicked off over towards the sideline by Lara Curran, and a line ball for Wexford. 25 minutes, almost 26 minutes gone here in the first half in the Lidl Ladies Football National League Round 1 game, and it's Kildare who've had the better of things so far, as Wexford have really struggled to get out of their own half, particularly in the last 15 minutes or so. Amy Walsh with the line ball, sent up towards Ellen O'Brien, but reading it really well was Mia Doherty there, and Kildare have it back yet again into the middle as far as Lara Gilbert. Gilbert with the clip pass forward as far as Orla Sullivan, but it's missed, and Aisling Halligan doesn't miss it, and Amy Walsh now with it for Wexford. There's plenty of space on this near side if Wexford can work it over here. Niamh Cloak Rochford, hand pass out as far as Emma Tompkins. And there's a foul there. Free to Wexford. Taken quickly by Tompkins into the path of Anne Byrne. That was a well-weighted pass, but just wouldn't come up for Byrne there. Maybe the bounce would be a little bit higher when the ground would be a little bit harder, but Kildare have it back now. Claire Nugent into the middle here as far as Lara Curran, who's got 2 points in the game so far. Nessa Dooley has 1-1. Lara Curran has 2 points. Aoife Rattigan has a point, and Mia Doherty has a point, so a good spread of scorers there for Kildare. And the Wexford point has been scored by Katrina Murray early on, which was a pointed free, and it's Kildare now trying to build something else, as Sarah Munley has it, but too many steps taken according to the referee, and a free to Wexford. Taken by Roisin Murphy, sent forward towards the substitute Amy Wilson, who has her first opportunity to make something happen for the Wexford ladies here, as she's surrounded by 3 Kildare players. Ellen O'Brien has it up, twisting a turn from O'Brien, still has possession. Kick pass forward, tries to find Wilson, but it's a little bit heavy, and Kildare have it back. We can hear the management at the far side encouraging the players to keep it simple, and when conditions are blustery and when it's slightly softer underfoot than it would normally be in the summer, that is the best advice, as Lara Curran is trying to make it an 8-point lead maybe for Kildare, but she's quickly bottled up by a couple of Wexford players and has to go back. Mia Doherty with it, sends it forward in towards Nessa Dooley, but well read by Amy Walsh, who gets out there in first, but it's won back by Dooley again, dispossessed by Walsh. The referee has the hand out for a free, and another free. I'm not 100% sure how many frees there have been in the first half, but there have been certainly plenty of them. 20 metres out now, a chance for Kildare to go into a 8-point lead. And Lara Curran takes it, but this one is going to drift way off to the right and wide. Kick out taken, and again it was brought back there, but I think all the players were outside the 20-metre line, but Deirdre Fox is going to have to go again. Goes short as far as Niamh Cloak Rochford. Ciara Neville back to Cloak Rochford again, but the pass is heavy, and Amy Walsh is there to win it for Wexford. Emma Tompkins now. Good sidestep by Tompkins, an advantage being played to Wexford, and the free is given. Anne Byrne forward as far as Roisin Murphy. Good work by Aoife Rattigan to disrupt Shireen Hamilton as she tried to get her hands to it. The long ball in towards the full forward line. won by Claire Nugent. And again, the Kildare full back line are strong and steady there as Aoife Rattigan carries this one clear. Grace Clifford off as far as Leisha Lenihan. Back to Lenihan again, forward to Sarah Munley. Lenihan has continued to run, and the thing has opened up a little bit here off as far as Roisin Ford, who takes the shot and sends the ball in and over the bar. Fine score there by Roisin Ford, her first score of the game. 1-6 to a point now. 30 minutes and 51 seconds gone here in Hollymount in the first half. Kildare 1-6, Wexford 1 point. And with that, the referee, Paddy Smith, calls a halt to the first half action here in Hollymount in the Lidl National Ladies Football League Division 3 clash between Wexford and Kildare. We saw first few minutes were fairly even, but from then Kildare seemed to take control of the game, and the real fine score in that opening section of the game was the goal by Nessa Dooley, who finished a fine team move and gave Deirdre Fox very little chance in the Wexford goal. So it certainly has been mainly Kildare with the upper hand in the first half here, as both sides are going to go into the dressing room at half time. So we'll take a little break here in the commentary box with Kildare leading at half time here in Hollymount on a scoreline of 1-6 to 1 point.
Invincible. responsible.
So the Wexford team are making their way back out of the dressing room to join Kildare, who've been on the field for the last minute or so. But both sides certainly took the full allotted time in their half-time break, and an opportunity for both managements to give a few words of wisdom to both sides. I've been looking around at the Kildare 15 and I've seen one change. In fact, I've just spotted it there now, and I'll bring you up to date on who that is now in a minute. It's number 23, Mary Hulgrain, who is in, and I'll try and figure out who she's in for. There are no announcements here in Hollymount. There are plenty of wonderful facilities, but a PA system is probably the only thing they don't have here in Hollymount. But we're almost ready to start the second half here, with Kildare leading 1-6 to 1 point. So the ball is in and the second half is on. Aoife Rattigan with the first possession for Kildare. In towards the substitute, Mary Hulgrain, and lays it off as far as Grace Clifford. A good looking move here for Kildare. Can Clifford start the second half well for Kildare? There's an advantage being played, but they don't need the advantage. Ball is finished to the net by Orla Sullivan, and immediately from the kick-off, Aoife Rattigan managed to win possession, and from there it was a really well worked move for Kildare. And again, Grace Clifford has been at the centre of things, lays it off there to Orla Sullivan, who finished it past Deirdre Fox with no chance for Fox to get a hand to that one. So that's Kildare now into a very, very commanding lead at this stage. 2-6 to a point here as that one is sent wide. Kildare in possession again. The ball sent over towards the far side as Roisin Ford has it, and the shot is sent in, but it's carried a little bit far for Nessa Dooley, and another wide for Kildare. I make it their 7th, possibly even their 8th wide of the game. But with their 11-point lead, they won't be maybe too worried about the odd wide or two, as Deirdre Fox faces yet another kick out. This one is sent high, bounces out around here. Getting her hand to it was Lara Gilbert. Mia Doherty. Across here as far as Claire Sullivan. Still Sullivan, tackled by number 24 for Wexford, who's Tara Doyle, who's been brought in the last, or maybe at half time. But Hazel McLaughlin with it now, trying to make something happen for Kildare, and the shot is won by Ciara Neville. Wexford have it back out as far as Aisling Halligan. And a free to Wexford. Advantage is being played. Ball sent forward towards Tara Doyle, off to Anne Byrne. Shireen Hamilton back to Anne Byrne again. Wexford will be hoping maybe to get an opportunity to have their hands on the ball for a sustained period. They haven't really managed to do it yet so far in the game, but they have maybe for the last few seconds or so, as Hamilton lays it off as far as Emma Tompkins, up towards Amy Wilson, a first half substitute. Still Wilson tries to get away from Hazel McLaughlin. A chance maybe for Wilson to pull the trigger, but maybe she thought better of it. Back as far as Aoife Cullen. Cullen is fouled. The referee is playing an advantage to Wexford, and there was no advantage coming, so the ball is brought back for a free to Wexford just on the edge of the D. It's going to be Katrina Murray to take this one. She's got the only score of the game so far for Wexford, coming in the opening minute or so. And that shot has gone off to the right and wide, so it remains, that score in the first half remains Wexford's only score of the game so far. Dervla McGinn, the kick out goes astray. Amy Wilson wins it. A chance maybe of a goal, but the pass is sent in, and McGinn is quick to the danger. Lays it off to Claire Sullivan. Collision there. Two players turned. I think Sullivan turned into the Wexford player, who is Aoife Cullen, and it seems Sullivan has come off the worst, but hopefully she'll be okay to continue. Sarah Munley was the player who was removed at half time for Mary Hulgrain on the Kildare side. And I think it might have been Ellen O'Brien who was removed at half time on the Wexford side, with Tara Doyle taking her place. So a free out for Kildare. Taken short by Dervla McGinn. The Kildare players look really comfortable on the ball, and none more so than Grace Clifford off here as far as Aoife Rattigan. Cuts back inside. Has a bit of support as a free player for Kildare at the far side. But Rattigan opts to go forward as far as the full forward. Orla Sullivan, who got that goal, lays it off as far as Nessa Dooley, the other goal scorer. And a third goal now for Kildare, and a fantastic finish low into the corner by Nessa Dooley. And that was good work again by the Kildare forward line. And we can see it again here as Orla Sullivan just turns and spotted the run of Nessa Dooley, who finished low into the corner. And again, Deirdre Fox, no chance with that one. And that's 2 goals and a point now for Nessa Dooley. Lara Curran off to Claire Sullivan, gets around Niamh Cloak Rochford. Sullivan into the middle as far as Aoife Rattigan. Mary Hulgrain looked as though she was going to take the shot at the post, but thought to lay it off to Roisin Ford instead, and that's Roisin Ford's second point of the game. And Kildare have really opened up in the start of this second half. 3-7 to a point now, and what was looking like a very uphill task for Wexford at half time has become all that more steeper now in the after 5 minutes of the second half here, as Deirdre Fox picks out the short run of Niamh Cloak Rochford. Across here as far as Orla Keogh. Into the middle, and Byrne. Bit of space in front of Byrne to carry this one forward. Long ball in towards her club colleague Katrina Murray. That was a really well placed ball, but Murray couldn't get it up the first time, and she's still battling away for it there. There's pressure being put on by the Kildare backs, but Katrina Murray did really well to retrieve the situation and win the ball back inside to Amy Wilson, who's fouled. The referee's playing an advantage. Maybe Wexford will be glad of the free here, and so from 20 metres out again, Wexford will have a chance to put their second score of the game. Amy Wilson is going to take this one from the ground. 20 metres out. And that's a good solid kick there by Amy Wilson to send that one over the bar, and Wexford's second score of the game. 1 free from Amy Wilson and 1 free for Katrina Murray. Darryl McGinn with the kick out. It's well placed. Aoife Rattigan wins it. Laid off as far as Claire Nugent. Well tackled, really well tackled by Roisin Murphy there. The ball ricochets, Orla Keogh sends it out, and it hits the linesman Francis Neville, and a line ball for Kildare. Clifford goes back as far as Maya Doherty. Well won, high ball, lays off as far as Lara Gilbert, and Clifford continues her run. Ball forward, well read by Aisling Halligan, who gets there first and manages to win it up. Out as far as Roisin Murphy, forward to Emma Tompkins. Tompkins forward as far as Tara Doyle. Sent over here towards Amy Wilson. Well won by Wilson. Can she get a second score of the game from just outside the D? It's certainly a good kick. Is it accurate enough? It's just stayed off to the left a little bit, and it's gone off wide, and a third wide of the game for Wexford so far. But Amy Wilson certainly has made a bit of an impact since coming in there, as we're missing a ball. Darryl McGinn sends it over this side again. Won by Claire Sullivan. Foul by Emma Tompkins. Sullivan goes short to Hazel McLaughlin. Back to Sullivan again. Tackled by Shireen Hamilton. Wexford have it back now. Can they create a scoring opportunity off as far as Cullen now? And there's a chance for Wexford if she can get a bit of space. The ball sent over the far side. Good chance for Aisling Murphy, but off her line really quickly was Dervla McGinn, and that was a good opportunity for Wexford, but good goalkeeping and good quick thinking by the Kildare goalkeeper. Snuffed out that opportunity as it breaks here now to Niamh Cloak Rochford. Back inside as far as Roisin Murphy. There's a bit of space here for Emma Tompkins, about 45 or 50 metres out from goal. It'll be a long ways out to shoot from, but Tompkins tries to bring it in a little bit closer, put under a lot of pressure by Claire Sullivan. Still Tompkins, 3 or 4 Kildare defenders there. Amy Wilson has it up, good strength being shown by Wilson. Off as far as Aoife Cullen. Cullen tries to take the shot, but that was a great block down by Claire Nugent. The referee was playing an advantage to Wexford, and another free on the 20-metre line, and no doubt Amy Wilson will try and repeat her efforts from a few minutes ago. 10 minutes gone in the second half here in the Lidl National Ladies Football League Division 3. The other two sides are just about to throw in Rathnew. It's Wicklow against Longford, the other two sides in this group. 3 o'clock throw in there as Amy Wilson lines this one up. And no mistake again, so that's the 2 pointed frees now for Amy Wilson, and Wexford closed the gap ever so slightly. 3-7 to 3 points here in Hollymount. Dervla McGinn tries to pick out at the far side, just hops over the head of Anne Byrne there, and Kildare have it, sent forward by Aoife Rattigan. Forward as far as Mary Hulgrain. And that shot has been sent in and over the bar. A very nice score there by Orla Sullivan, who got that first goal of the second half for Kildare, and now she's added a point to her tally. 1-1 now in total for Orla Sullivan. That was a fine score off her left as Deirdre Fox takes the kick out quickly, sent low into the corner. Ciara Neville wins it back inside to the fullback Aisling Halligan. Halligan has a bit of support. Amy Walsh is running off the shoulder, leaves it there as for Shireen Hamilton, off to Anne Byrne at the far side. A hand pass forward is well read by Leisha Lenihan, and Kildare have it back yet again as Nessa Dooley, the scorer of 2-1 so far in the game, has it. Now it's forward as far as Leisha Lenihan, who has said in the first half hasn't been afraid to get forward at every opportunity, and she's continuing in that vein in the second half. The referee waves play on as Nessa Dooley has it up. Aisling Halligan is the nearest Wexford player to her, but Dooley sends it inside as far as Roisin Ford, who's got 2 points in the game so far. Cross here to Leisha Lenihan. There's a bit of room further up. That's a poor ball though, and won back by Emma Tompkins for Wexford. Off to Aisling Halligan, who's drifted way out the field. Into Tara Doyle, who did well to win that one up. It was a difficult ball to get her very close to her bootlaces that time, but Roisin Murphy has it. Leaves it for Aoife Cullen, or maybe she was dispossessed by Grace Clifford, but it's Cullen now trying to make it inroads for Wexford. Cuts back inside. Better play for Wexford as Emma Tompkins has it now. 20 metres out from goal. A shooting opportunity has presented itself. The goalkeeper Dervla McGinn was out off her line, and the referee is bringing it back for a foul, I think, for free for Wexford. Kildare goalkeeper Dervla McGinn remains on the ground. Hopefully she'll be okay to continue. She's receiving some attention from the physiotherapist there as Kildare making a substitution. Number 7 Claire Sullivan is making way, and I think it's number 29 Shauna Kendrick who's been brought into the action. And there's another sub being made at the other end. Roisin Ford, the scorer of 2 points, is making way, and she's getting plenty of praise from her management at the far side. And once the player has been brought in for a turns around, we'll let you know who it is. But at the other end of the field, the referee is just about to get the game going again. Amy Wilson has another free here from a similar angle, but it's maybe 5 or 6 metres further out and a little bit more difficult than the two that she scored already in this half. And that one has been sent off to the right and wide, so as I said, it was a little bit more difficult with the wind bringing the ball that way, as well as the referee with that action calls for the water break. And the person who was brought in for Roisin Ford is number 22 Leah Riley on the Kildare side, so an opportunity for a couple of the Kildare players to shine in front of the management here today, and a good opportunity for the management to use the bench and give players a bit of game time in the early season. Oh, both sides going in, and Wexford can be reasonably pleased with the way they've managed to respond in the last few minutes. There was a couple of opportunities there, plenty of frees won by the forwards. Emma Tompkins has come out the field and won plenty of ball out around the middle here, and Amy Wilson has been effective with the frees, and there's been plenty of better play, I suppose, in the last few minutes from a Wexford point of view, but it really has been all Kildare so far in this game. Two fantastic goals in that quarter, one by Orla Sullivan and one by Nessa Dooley, and the person who seems to be involved in every good Kildare move is Grace Clifford in the middle of the field. So a very good performance from Kildare so far. They can be very pleased with the way the game has gone here in Hollymount. 3-8 to 3 points, and there's certainly good value for that, as it's the wind is certainly getting a little bit heavier, or a little bit more strong here in Hollymount. It's blowing mainly into the face of the camera here, as we're on the near side, if anyone is familiar with the ground, but the wind is blowing mainly into our face, slightly helping Kildare at the moment, but making it very difficult for both sides to score, particularly from long range, as any ball that's going to go high is just going to be taken by the wind, as we saw with that last free from Amy Wilson. So both sides back out after the water break, and the game will resume with a kick out from Dervla McGinn in the Kildare goal. Plenty of movement here, Kildare trying to make a bit of space. There's almost like a scatter tactic here, as that pass is sent out, but it's a tactic that hasn't worked this time, and Emma Tompkins has it for Wexford off as far as Amy Wilson, who has the head up. Maybe she was thinking of going for a shot, but it was very far out, as decides to set up Aisling Murphy maybe instead. Murphy with it now. The shot is sent in from Aisling Murphy. It's sent high. There's been a cheer, and the point was going over the bar, and a good point there for Aisling Murphy, and that's Wexford's first score from play in this game, and it's been a long time coming, but a very fine score there by Aisling Murphy. And we go again with the kick out. Hazel McLaughlin off as far as Leisha Lenihan, into the middle to Lara Gilbert. Claire Nugent sends that one forward and takes it back again from the sub who was brought in, Leah Riley, who got her hands on that one, but a free to Kildare. Taken by Grace Clifford and sent all the way back as far as Maya Doherty. Aoife Rattigan now, the outside of the right boot. It's a good well placed pass here in front of Orla Sullivan, but Aisling Halligan almost got in there, and there's a foul on Lara Curran. The referee playing an advantage, but a fairly obvious foul there, and a chance for Kildare to maybe go for the post from here. Maybe they'll try and set up someone else, but a 13-point lead for Kildare. They can afford to maybe try and do something a little bit differently in this game, but it looks as though Lara Curran is going to go for the posts. It could turn in on the wind. It's a very nice kick, and it's gone just in and over the bar. A fine score there by Lara Curran. That's her third point of the game. 2 from frees and 1 from play, and a really nice style of a kicker, and that one turned in really nicely on the breeze and over the bar. Deirdre Fox's kick out, really well won by Amy Walsh. She had to rise high to grab that one, as it's given back to Anne Byrne. One here by Niamh Cloak Rochford, lays it off to Aisling Halligan. The long hand pass from Halligan is a little bit far, and Kildare have it back. Shauna Kendrick off to Grace Clifford. Clifford challenged there by Shireen Hamilton, but manages to keep the ball and give it to Mary Hulgrain, who in turn gives it to Lara Curran. Back here as far as Mia Doherty. Into the middle to Grace Clifford. She's nearly... I was just going to say she's playing as well as her namesake David Clifford from Kerry is today, but it's Aoife Rattigan with it now. The shot from the far side, and that one has just crept off to the right and wide, but it was a good looking shot for a long time by Aoife Rattigan, another player who's been very impressive today for Kildare. 11 and a half minutes to go here in Hollymount. In the Lidl Ladies Football National League, Deirdre Fox sends this kick long and straight down the middle, well gathered by Shauna Kendrick, off as far as Hazel McLaughlin. Play is switched over here as far as Aoife Rattigan. Maybe she'll go on better this time. That shot is heading in, and this time it has gone over the bar for Aoife Rattigan, her second point of the game, and a fine score as well. Wexford go short with the kick out again. It's won by, well, Aisling Halligan is the one who carries it clear off as far as Niamh Cloak Rochford. Wexford have also brought Bernie Breen into the action, the number 23 who received that kick out, as Anne Byrne carries this one forward. Kick pass forward to Aisling Halligan. Halligan lays it off as far as Cathy O'Brien, who's also been brought into the action. Off to Aisling Murphy. Back to Halligan again. The kick from Aisling Halligan has gone over the bar. Fine score there for the Wexford fullback, Aisling Halligan. So more subs on the Kildare side. They're going to have to wait a minute as the kick out is taken quickly. Shauna Kendrick lays it off. Claire Nugent carries it forward. A hand pass into the path of Leah Riley. Riley kicks it forward to Orla Sullivan. Amy Walsh gets there first. Former soccer player with Wexford Youths. Grace Clifford off to Mary Hulgrain. Lara Curran, 3 points for her. Aisling Halligan marking her, 1 point for Halligan. 2 points here for Aoife Rattigan, who's on the ball now. Lays it off as far as Grace Clifford, who hasn't scored but has been involved in almost every Kildare score. Back to Aoife Rattigan again, whose shot from the outside of her boot has gone very much astray and off to the right and wide. And we have sub on both sides coming in now. 3 subs on the Kildare side, I think, and 1 for Wexford. Number 12, Hazel McLaughlin, is making way. Number 2, Claire Nugent, is making way. And number 13, Nessa Dooley, is making way on the Kildare side. And I'll try and keep tabs on who's been brought in now, but Aoife Cullen is the one who's made way on the Wexford side. Deirdre Fox gets the game going again, sent up here towards Orla Kyo. She's been tackled by Leah Riley, but Kyo is well under plenty of pressure and gives it back as far as Aisling Halligan. The hand pass forward towards Bernie Breen, who gathered it under lots of pressure from the in-rushing Mary Hulgrain, but Wexford with it now. Roisin Murphy lays it off to Niamh Cloak Rochford, and Wexford seems to be finding their stride in the last few minutes. This one, Shireen Hamilton just won't come up for her, tackled by Grace Clifford there, and it's won back now by Kildare. Fiona Trout with it off to Grace Clifford, who is trying to carry it clear, and the referee has penalised the Wexford players for their tackling that time. Number 26, Fiona Bennett, has certainly been brought in for Wexford, and on the Kildare side, 27, Rachel Cribben is in. As Mia Doherty sends that one forward. Leah Riley has it. Still Riley being chased down by Tara Doyle. Gives it off to Aoife Rattigan. There's a good run been made inside in the full forward line if Rattigan can find her, but the hand pass was just a little bit light, and Wexford have it back again. Emma Tompkins with it, but as she looks up, there's a wall of 4 or 5 Kildare shirts across the middle here, meaning that Tompkins has to go back and across as far as Bernie Breen. Breen tries to pick out Amy Wilson, but the pass isn't strong enough. Won by Shauna Kendrick off as far as Rachel Cribben. Back to Cribben again. Good interplay here by Kildare. They've certainly been moving the ball very quickly, which has made it very difficult for the Wexford players to get a hand on it. And that's a foul, a free out, foul on. Well, a foul by Orla Sullivan on Aisling Halligan, I think. Number 18 for Kildare, Gillian Wheeler, is also in the action, and there's one more of those three subs who I can't seem to find on the field at the moment, but Aisling Halligan seems to be okay to continue again. Deirdre Fox now. 6 minutes to go here in Hollymount. Bernie Breen flicks it inside to Amy Walsh. Hand pass laid off to Aisling Halligan, who seems to be okay again. Advantage being played to Wexford. Laid off to Anne Byrne. Back to Halligan. Off to Niamh Cloak Rochford. There's a good run being made by Orla Keogh up the line here. Fiona Bennett has teared out after it as well. She's been chased by Rachel Cribben. Good work by Bennett to get it up. And foul and advantage is being played to Wexford. Referee still has the arm out. Shireen Hamilton sends it across, and the referee has brought it back. Aisling Murphy won it high, but the referee has brought it back for the advantage on the 20-metre line here, and a chance for Amy Wilson to put another one over the bar with the score 3-10 to 5 points here in Hollymount. There's obviously highly unlikely the Wexford are going to win this game, but I suppose the management can be a little bit happier with the way the last 10 minutes or so have gone, with Wexford certainly holding their own in the game as another couple of subs are being made. Niamh Cloak Rochford is making way on the Wexford side, and Orla Sullivan is making way on the Kildare side. And a good score there from Amy Wilson, her third of the game. The sub that was brought in for Wexford is Donna Delahunty, as Kildare trying to make inroads again. Grace Clifford lays it off, spilled back with Clifford again. It was Lauren Murta. That kick pass forward finds Aisling Halligan, who kicks it back to where it came from, but just over the head of Clifford. Won by Cathy O'Brien. Good weighted pass in towards Aisling Murphy, who has got a point already. Can she add a second? This high kick has gone high, but it's gone way off to the right. And we have another sub coming in on the Kildare side. And another sub coming in on the Wexford side. So it seems as though Emma Tompkins is going to be the one to make way. And Abby O'Connor is into the action. Ball comes off the hand of Lauren Murta, falls to Leah Riley. Back inside to Murta again. An advantage being played to Kildare. Hand pass forward is a little bit heavy, and the referee is going to bring it back. Grace Clifford is over there right beside the dugout to take this one. Kicks it all the way back as far as Maya Doherty. Good ball here in front of Laura Curran. Still Curran. 4 Wexford players around her, but Curran does well to keep the ball and picks out a good pass at the far side as the sun is coming out here in Hollymount. Lauren Murta with it forward in towards the full forward line. Curran lays it off back as far as Gillian Wheeler, who takes the shot and sends the ball in and over the bar, and a fine score there for Kildare. 2 minutes to go here, 3-11 to 6 points. Short kick out doesn't hop up as it was hoped, and Mary Hulgrain almost had her hands on it, but Donna Delahunty sends the hand pass over, and Bernie Breen breaks onto it now for Wexford. Pass inside, finds Fiona Bennett. Tara Doyle now, fouled, free, an advantage being played to Wexford. Amy Wilson takes the shot. They have 2 bites of the cherry, but I think Wilson only needs the one, and that one's sent over the bar. Another fine score there by Amy Wilson. 4 points in total now for her. Well picked out kick pass there by Dervlin again, who finds Aoife Rattigan. Ball sent into the corner. Good chance for Kildare again, but good defended by the Wexford players. The Kildare player was Lauren Burke. Off here as far as Mary Hulgrain, but that shot is off to the left and wide, and Kildare into the double figures on the wide count now. 29.5 minutes gone here in Hollymount, or 29.25 gone as the kick out goes short to Aisling Halligan. Over to Amy Walsh. Walsh has little option. The Kildare players were marking very tightly that time, so she goes back as far as Deirdre Fox in the Wexford goal, out to Bernie Breen. Donna Delahunty. That kick pass is intercepted and flicked out of play by Shauna Kendrick. And the referee has spotted some holding inside in the full forward line, so free for Wexford. I think the player being spoken to there or being penalised was Fiona Trout for holding Amy Wilson. We're well into injury time here, and there were plenty of subs, but there wasn't really very many stoppages for injuries or anything along those lines, so I don't expect there'll be an awful lot of injury time here. But Amy Wilson has a chance now to get her 5th. No mistake for Wilson there. A good score again off the ground. Darvell McGinn picks out Grace Clifford, who's free in the middle of the field. Clifford gets around a couple of Wexford players. The kick pass forward finds Lauren Burke. She's been tackled by Amy Walsh. The kick pass in is a good one. Laid off here as far as Lara Curran, but the shot has gone off to the right and wide, and that's really a missed opportunity. She mightn't be too pleased with the result of that one, but it's a little bit... It doesn't really matter at this stage in terms of the overall result, but both teams have certainly given it their all here today, as Abby O'Connor has it. Tackled by Shauna Kendrick, and really good work by Kendrick, and fouled there by O'Connor, and good strength shown. Leaves it for Grace Clifford right beside the sideline here in Hollymount. Well, good pass inside to Lara Curran. She steadies herself. We saw her score a free from a similar position, but this one didn't turn in the same as the free did. And another wide for the Kildare total. .32 minutes gone here. Kick out goes short. Leah Riley is in there. Aisling Halligan bundles her off the ball, and the referee with that action has called a halt to the game here in Hollymount in the Lidl Ladies Football National League Division 3, with Kildare running out comfortable winners on a scoreline of 3-11 to 8 points. Most of the game was dominated by Kildare. Wexford can be pleased with the way they finished the game in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so. They certainly were the better side in those last 10 minutes, but overall the last 10 minutes are only a small part of a 60-minute game, and overall it was certainly Kildare who had the upper hand. They started really well with that goal from Nessa Dooley in the early stages, finished past Deirdre Fox, and they clipped over a few other fine scores in the first half, and they started the second half really, really well with that goal from Orla Sullivan, and only a few minutes later with a second goal from Nessa Dooley. So they run out 12-point winners here in Hollymount, and on the basis of the possession and the play, I suppose it's a very well-deserved victory and a well-deserved winning margin for Kildare. Just to run quickly through who scored what: Nessa Dooley scored 2-2, Orla Sullivan 1-1, Lara Curran 3 points, Roisin Ford 2 points, Aoife Rattigan 2 points, Mia Doherty a point, and Gillian Wheeler a point. So that makes up the 3-11 for Kildare. And the points for Wexford: Amy Wilson scored 5, Aisling Murphy scored 1, Katrina Murray scored 1, and Aisling Halligan scored 1. So that's the 8 points for Wexford. There was no yellow cards or no red cards or any issues for discipline committees to be dealing with, so both sides will be pleased that they'll have a full squad to pick from for the next round. As I said earlier, Wicklow and Longford are the other two sides who make up this group in the Lidl Ladies Football National League. So that's all from us here in Hollymount. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage, and we'll be back with you again next week with more coverage of the Ladies Football National League.